Welcome back to DIY No Need to Cry with Ivelisse. Let's get started. Hi my crafty fam, and if you're new to my channel, welcome! In this episode of Back to Basics, I'll be showing you a neat and easy way to decoupage so you don't get any wrinkles. That's right, no more wrinkles. I'll be showing you how I prepped my paper napkin for a project that I'm working on using the iron-on technique. I've heard of this technique for years, but I never tried it, and I finally decided to. And let me just say, I can't stress this enough. I wish I had tried it sooner. It's so much easier and it turned out perfectly. If you struggle with decoupage, this is the technique you want to learn. I'm going to show you the basics of what I did, but I'm going to leave the detailed video link that I learned from in the description box below. The channel is called Our Upcycled Life and Deidre is the host. I've shared this video before because she's amazing. You guys should definitely go check her out afterwards. Okay, to the crafting table. To start, I'm going to iron all the wrinkles out of this piece of white fabric I purchased at the Dollar Tree. I find that this fabric is perfect for creating applique-like pieces for my bottles when combined with my paper napkin designs. So, you're probably wondering why not just decoupage the napkin directly onto the bottle like you usually do? Well, for starters, the bottle design that I'm working on will have fairy lights in it, and that means I can't give the usual base coat of white. And for the paper napkin to pop, it needs that base coat. In episode 3, I showed you how I decoupaged the napkin onto the fabric using the basic decoupage technique. It was my solution to making an easy and efficient way to create these applique-like pieces that you can decoupage onto any surface regardless of color without having to worry about a white base. Some of you were still having problems with wrinkles, and I hadn't tried the iron-on technique, so combining the two techniques was the next logical step for me. And like I said in the beginning, I'm so pumped I did because it really made the project so much easier. Now that the fabric is smooth, I'm going to paint my fabric white before decoupaging the napkins onto it. This step is not necessary, it's a preference. I like the paper napkin design to really pop. In my opinion, adding the matte white acrylic paint to the fabric does just that. And just so you know, it doesn't matter if you add it on before or after. I think it's less messy adding it on beforehand. Once it was dry, I flipped my fabric over and I did add another coat of paint. I'm wondering, if I buy a more opaque white fabric, maybe I won't have to take this step. Definitely something to look into. I would imagine it might be more expensive though, and your girl's bank account is not built like that. So I'll see if I can find an affordable solution. Okay, these next steps are a must. What I'm going to do now is give the entire piece of fabric a coat of Mod Podge. I made sure to give it a nice even coat. Now it's time to prep the paper napkin. These are the ones I'll be using for my project. Cut out what you need and then remove the plies of paper. I need more than one due to the design I'm creating on the bottle, and you'll get to see how I use these in next week's video. You want to repeat the same steps for all of your napkin designs. Once I had them all prepped, I moved everything over to the ironing board. To avoid getting any glue or paint from getting on my board, I placed a large enough piece of parchment paper under my fabric before I started. Make sure the glue side is up and place all your pieces onto it. Next, you want to cover them all with another piece of parchment paper. Using your iron on the highest heat setting and no steam, only high heat. Again, no steam, iron everything down. Because I have so many pieces, I'm making sure every corner inside is properly pressed down. That's the only thing you have to make sure of with this technique, that the entire napkin has been pressed. Once you're done, simply peel back the parchment paper to reveal your beautifully decoupage paper napkin pieces without any wrinkles. Guys, I'm telling you, this is the solution you've been looking for. It truly is as easy as it looks. And before I cut these out, I'm going to give them one last coat of Mod Podge to seal them in. Once these dry, they'll be ready to cut and use. This iron-on technique I use to prep my napkin is traditionally done directly onto the project. For instance, most people iron the paper napkin directly onto their piece, like a wooden box, a piece of wood, metal, and even clothing. You can iron the napkin directly onto any flat surface that can withstand heat. In my case, I work with glass bottles, and they are round, which makes it impossible to do so. Preparing the napkin the way I did not only allows me to use it on my bottles, but it also eliminates wrinkles, makes it easy to apply, and doesn't require the white base to be placed on the bottle, which allows me to have creative freedom on my design. It's a win-win, y'all, and I hope you try it, just as long as you remember to have fun, be creative, and make a mess. Thanks for watching! If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to thumbs it up, as it helps the growth of the channel, and to show your support. If you're new to my channel, I hope you consider subscribing to get updates on future videos. And remember, do it yourself. There's no need to cry.